Standard Bank Group and UnionPay International UPI, which has expanded UnionPay e-commerce acceptance across 9 African markets, thus enabling participating merchants to accept secure online payments from UnionPay cardholders and giving businesses broader access to cross-border consumer demand. The expanded capability strengthens digital commerce across Africa by helping merchants offer more payment choice, reduce checkout friction, and serve international travelers, cross-border shoppers, as well as businesses transacting across multiple markets. Norman Nyawo, Head of Merchant Solutions for Business and Commercial Banking at Standard Bank South Africa, joins us this evening. A very good evening to you, sir. Welcome to Africa in Business.
Evening, Tammy. It's a pleasure to be chatting to you and your listeners again.
Now, why was it important for Standard Bank to partner with UnionPay on this particular initiative?
So Standard Bank, I think, we really about helping African businesses reach more customers and grow beyond their borders. And obviously, enabling, our business base or merchant base to accept UnionPay cards is really about connecting them to the global customers and giving them access to obviously one of the world's largest payment networks, which is UnionPay. So it was really fundamental for us to be able to unlock this, this value for our businesses and merchants alike.
And when was it actually institutionalized? Is it actually rolling already?
Yeah, so we've recently just deployed into those particular markets. I think in 2024 we did announce the partnership, and as you'd expect with a lot of IT initiatives, there was lots of work that went in the background. But we finally have got that live now, and we can now accept these UnionPay cards across 8 markets in Africa.
And how has the response been?
The response so far is great. Obviously, with something like this, we have to, and this forms part of it is, going out to the market and letting the cardholder base and our merchants alike that, these cards can now be accepted. So we definitely are starting to see, a ramp up in transactions. But, as we go out there more and some of the marketing elements start landing as well, we definitely will see, an increased, acceptance of these cards. I mean, just to give you, some numbers, I mean, UnionPay cards are accepted in over 51 African countries and territories. So it makes UnionPay, I think, one of the most widely accepted international payment networks on the continent. And across the continent, they've got over 7 million cards. So, it's quite important for us to be able to, to unlock our businesses to accept, these cards.
And there were 9 markets that were selected for the expansion. Can you take us through why the selection of those markets specifically?
So I think on our side, obviously, we try to select markets that show strong digital commerce potential and can immediately benefit from greater access to international payments and customers. And also, I mean, we got some information from UnionPay where, some of their customers do frequent as well. So when you looked at some of the markets that we operate in and have an acquiring presence, we sort of try to match up this up with, where the cards are and where we've got merchants so that we get the greatest, coverage.
And can you take us through some of those markets and whether they're mostly in East, West, Central Africa, Southern Africa?
Yeah, so these markets are mainly across East, West, and Southern Central. So Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Namibia, Kenya, Tanzania. Yeah, so so it's quite a wide range of markets across both East, West, and Southern Central Africa.
And any plans to expand any further? I know you've just expanded now, but what is the future looking like?
Yeah, definitely. I think we already operate in 14 countries from a Stanbic perspective. So we're enabling the 9, and definitely the idea is to make sure that in all of the territories that we operate, we enable this. Yeah. So it's I think we've just launched, but hopefully in the next coming months, and if not in early 2027, we unlock the remaining markets.
There are a number of international payment networks that are already available. What is it that would make merchants choose UnionPay specifically? What is the edge that this particular platform has over the others?
So I mean, maybe just to clarify, I think, merchants wouldn't really choose, who comes into their storefront. So the idea here is we opening up the merchants to accept UnionPay cards, right? So typically we're already accepting Visa and Mastercard, and by opening UnionPay cards to our businesses, it means now that our businesses are now more open to a more international base, right? So so the broader Chinese contingent that's coming into Africa, with the UnionPay cards, mostly that's where it comes from. Will be able to be used across those 9 continents. Those 9 markets that we've enabled. So it's not really about selecting one over the other, but it's about giving merchants, broader acceptance and making sure that they really don't turn away any cardholders, especially when it comes to from an international perspective.
I wonder if you could help put this into perspective for us, because we understand the scale of infiltration as far as Visa and MasterCard is concerned. What is UnionPay's usability in comparison to those, and the prevalence of the use of UnionPay among merchants on the continent?
Yeah, as I said, I think UnionPay acceptance has grown significantly across the continent. I think from an Africa perspective, they're accepted and issued in about 51 African countries already, which makes them quite a substantial, a network to be dealing with. But also from a global perspective, I think UnionPay cards are accepted in about 183 countries as well. So from a global perspective, they're also quite they've got quite a large international cardholder base, and that's why the idea is, for our merchants and businesses alike at Stanbic, we always try and make sure that interoperability is important, and there's acceptance across all international payment networks.
All right, thank you so much, Norman Nyawo, for that update. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks, Tammy. It's a pleasure being on your network.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. That's Norman Nyawo. He's Head of Merchant Solutions for Business and Commercial Banking at Standard Bank, South Africa.